Hello, and on behalf of the Accu-Tech crew, thank you for looking at our YouTube channel. This is a short how-to video on using the MIS wire length calculation wizard. It is important to note that Accu-Tech recommends you have a product and associated formula for every item you fabricate. The wire rope calculation wizard allows you to set up generic products like bridles and spreaders, and when it's time to fabricate the item during on-the-fly assembly, the system can ask the number of legs and links and then calculate and suggest the total length needed to fabricate the product. There is also an option to add coverings to the product, which will also affect the calculation. Before we get started, let's take a look at the difference between specific product formulas versus generic product formulas. Maintaining formulas for specific products has several advantages. For example, using specific products will allow you to have different auto-calculated selling prices and associated margins, varying charges for labor and certifications, and provide more information for sales history and analytical tools. The MIS system was designed to allow you to use very specific products or varying degrees of generic products. As you see on my product lookup screen, I have 4 specific bridles listed, 3 generic bridles listed, and 1 custom bridle listed. The first 4 items have specific lengths and legs, and my formula reflects exact lengths to build these. The first generic item will ask for footage of a 2-leg bridle. The next generic item will ask for both the number of legs and footage, and the next generic item will ask for the number of legs, lengths of legs, and has a covering associated with it. The last item on the screen is strictly a custom bridle that you would build from scratch. You will also notice in the generic bridle examples, there is a caret character in the product description. When the system asks for footage of the legs, it will take the footage entered and replace the caret F character with the footage entered during order entry on the fly assembly. When the system asks for the length of legs, it will take the length entered and replace the caret L character with the number of legs entered during order entry on the fly assembly. I am currently in the formula definition function mode and will choose the generic formula for a product that will request both the number of legs and the length of legs. If the wizard calculation option is turned on in the I4 control table, the system will ask how many legs does your product have. If this is a very generic, non-leg specific formula, you may enter 0 for the number of legs and the system will not recommend the number of legs during order entry on the fly assembly. Next, the system will ask the footage of each leg. If this is a generic non-leg length specific formula, you may enter 0 for the length of each leg and the system will not recommend the leg length during order entry. For the purpose of this video, I am modifying an existing formula. I'm going to go pull up the spool component of my formula. If you are using the wizard calculator and the component product is a lot spool type item, the system will give you an option to enter a base indicator. Enter a B if you want the system to add additional footage to the calculation. For example, you may have determined that it will take additional footage or adder to cover eyes or thimbles. In my example, I have a base adder of 5 for this formula. In order to use this feature, remember, 1, you must have the wizard calculation option turned on in your I4 control table. Next, your component product, in this case wire, must be a lot item in order for it to ask for the base quantity. And finally, if your formula contains a covering, your component product for the covering must be a lot type item as well. Next, we're going to move to our order entry on the fly assembly function. I already have my customer on the screen and we will move to our line item screen and click the Assemble Product button. I'll go ahead and look up my product and choose this one. Notice the item I just chose contains a caret F and a caret L character. I'm going to leave my primary description alone and I'll type in some other secondary description. I'm going to hit enter over my quantity and price. And once I choose the enter components option, the linked wizard will appear. In this example, the system is asking for both the number of legs and the length of each leg. I'll enter 2 legs and 5 foot. And notice the adder or base quantity is suggested based upon my formula. The system is now suggesting we need 15 feet of wire. I'll click my Done button, and the system will place the suggested footage into my lot allocation screen. Note that this suggested footage can be changed. Next, I'll choose which spool to remove this from, and then I will click the Done key. Once I click Done, the system will display my formula. At this point, I can alter the components if necessary. After I'm finished with my formula and I click Done, the system will display the cost, price entered, and suggested price in case I change some components. I can either change the price or accept it. I'll go ahead and click Done, and the screen will return to the order entry line item screen. Notice that the legs and footage I entered when using the calculation wizard have been automatically inserted into the product's primary description because my primary description contained a F and L characters. To set up a detailed training session on using our length calculator wizard, please contact our support desk at 800-624-6827.